Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from Phone Bench and today we are reviewing the Nokia X. It has a 4-inch WVGA display in the front and you have a single back button and there is no front facing camera. If we move to the left, there is absolutely nothing, just an expanse of plastic. At the top you have the 3.5mm audio jack. On the right you have the volume rocker as well as the power button. Both are quite sturdy, they don't make any clicking sounds and they have good travel as well. At the bottom you have the micro USB data syncing and charging port. At the back you have the 3.1 megapixel fixed focus camera, Nokia branding in the middle, and you have the speakerphone at the bottom, which is actually quite loud. The back cover is made of matte plastic, so it feels really good to hold in the hand. The sides are not tapered, they are rectangular. Nevertheless, the phone feels good to hold. So you can see there's a soft cushion there just to keep the battery in place. You have a 1500 mAh battery right there. And you have two micro SIM card slots, SIM 1 and SIM 2. And in the middle you have the micro SD card slot which takes up to 32 gigs of storage. The Nokia X comes with 512 MB of RAM and runs on a 1 GHz dual-core Snapdragon MSM 8225 processor with Adreno 203 GPU. Now let's close it all up. The Nokia X has excellent construction, great build quality, and the phone feels really good to hold in the hand as well. Now coming back to the display, it has excellent viewing angles. There is no color or brightness distortion of any kind. Even in gaming, we saw that there were no issues with ghosting or freezing, but the gameplay was inconsistent due to low frame rates. You can also see the color reproduction. All colors are quite vibrant. In fact, this is one of the sharpest displays we have seen in this price range. Coming to the phone dialer, this is a default dialer interface which you can see. In terms of network and call quality, we did not have any issues. Calls came through quite clear. The other person on the line was able to hear us quite well too. Now let's make a call so that you can see the interface. Here you can open the keypad, add another call, put the call on hold, mute it, or transfer the call to the loudspeaker, which I've already told you is quite loud and doesn't crackle even at the full volume. From here you can jump into the call logs or to your contacts directly. The phone also has GPS and Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth. We didn't have any issues with those either. The GPS is able to triangulate location very quickly. And you can see right there, it came into our FastLane that we have just made an outgoing call. Now this is the default messaging app. So you can see you can add your smilage directly from here. And you can send attachments as well by taking a photo, videos, or a recorded video or audio by composing an MMS. So this is the default keyboard. It's actually a swipe style keyboard. So you can see that you can swipe letters to create words very easily. It's extremely fast and extremely accurate. It's an excellent keyboard. And you can get the numpad separately as well if you want. Or you can just long tap on any of the character keys to get to that particular character or special character too. So you can see it's so easy to type on it. It recognizes as well as corrects your mistakes itself. If the correction is available, you can also tap it from above, just like that. It's a brilliant keyboard. Now talking about the camera interface, you have white balance settings, exposure settings, as well as anti-banding, noise reduction, and you can choose where to save your files, whether it's on the SD card or on your internal storage. You can also change the picture quality and picture size. Maximum available is 3.1 megapixels. So that's digital zoom. I would recommend not using it. You'll be able to see that better here. So you can see it zooms in on it. However, this is not recommended as it would distort your image definitely. So you can take an image by just tapping on the capture button. It's saved now. You can also shift between panorama mode and video mode. Going into video mode, it has several settings which you can see. You can change the audio encoder from AAC to AMR, or you can change the video codec as well from H.264 to MPEG-4. You can also set color effects, power modes, and the maximum resolution you can capture is FWVGA, meaning 854 by 480. This is time lapse, it's quite useless, and you have white balance settings as well. Now I'll just show you some of the images that we have taken. So this is in broad daylight. You can see that there is a little bit of color distortion. Focus is missing on this image as it is a fixed focus phone. Here the image looks much brighter and much better because of the distance that it was taken from. Again, the same thing. Macro shots don't turn out to be good. As you can see from right here, they are a bit fuzzy as the focus points are not made clear. A distant shot like this is definitely clearer. So this is the default headset you get it within the box. It's the same one that came with the Asha series. It's bright red, single pin interface, and there is no button to end or receive calls. You'd have to do that from the phone interface. These sound alright and they are good to listen to music as well. So this is the music widget I was talking about. So widgets are not missing on the Nokia X. Now let's go ahead and play a song so that you can hear. The speakerphone is really quite loud and it's absolutely clear, but it misses a hint of bass. There is actually no bass there, but it sounds really good. You can set it as ringtone, the music that you are playing right now, and you have an equalizer as well, where you can set the equalizer mode or choose your manual setting as well. The bass boost and 3D effect settings come into play when you are using your headset. Have a listen. There are no issues with stuttering or high bitrate music playback as well. You can see the widget, it's showing that the music is playing right now. And in the lock screen also you have an option to switch to the next track, previous track, or just stop or pause the music from right there. Now we will test out FM radio. So I've plugged in the headset, it has been detected, you can see that. Let's open up the app. So you can see that it found the channel really quickly. There are no issues with tuning. You can scan for new channels. There are some settings that are available here. Let's see them. So here you have just the regional band audio output, whether it's stereo or mono. And that's the default interface. You cannot record FM. By switching to stereo, it actually switches the track to your loudspeaker. And that's pretty much it. You can also view all the stations that it has found while tuning, and you can switch to a particular station by just tapping on it. Now we'll play a 720p video sample. You can see from right here that the 720p video sample is not playing well at all. It's absolutely stuttery, there are frame drops, and it's absolutely laggy. So 720p videos are not playable on this device. You will have to make do with FWVGA, and that's the maximum the phone can play well. That's 480p for you. Now we are playing a 480p video because we are playing it in high quality mode on YouTube. So you can see that this plays absolutely wonderfully well. But again, YouTube needs to be played through your browser and not through the default app, because YouTube app is not available for the Nokia X till now. You can see from right there, you need to skip to a particular part. Since it has been already loaded, therefore we are able to skip it. So YouTube playback is quite fine, but you need to play it through your web browser. That's the only downside. Now let's have a look at the software. So this is the default user interface. It's the Nokia launcher, which you can see right here. FastLane on the right. So it's an amalgamation of the UI from Windows Phone as well as the Asha series. At the top you have the status bar, not the notification bar. Here all the status of your different connectivity options that are available on your phone. On the right you have all your notifications in the Nokia FastLane. Now let me just show you Nokia glance screen. So here you have the time, the notification, as well as the audio profile that your phone is using right now. It comes up when your phone goes into sleep mode. You can see the actionable notifications from right there. You can just swipe to the right and it would open up the associated application just like that. So these are actionable, these are quite nice, and you saw the notification up there as well. I'll talk about these notifications in a while. You can just press the back button to minimize an app. Let me just show that to you in another app, how multitasking is done actually on the Nokia X. So let's say I open up the File Explorer and I want to use some other app. So all you need to do is long tap on the back button and it takes you to the home screen, just like that. And the app shows up on your Nokia FastLane, from where you can open it and resume whatever you are doing there. However, you have to always come back to the home screen to minimize an app, which is again a bit of a pain, and it's not true multitasking per se. You can also change the size of the different tiles here. So you have two sizes. One is the square size, the larger one, and the smaller one, and you can change its colors as well. And you can uninstall an app directly by pressing on the cross button. You also have several options available here too. You can create app folders. Let's say I create a folder named apps. So you can see it's created right there. Now let me just get back. And you can just simply drag and drop apps to that particular folder. The interface is a bit sluggish, which you can see right there. Since this is the app drawer as well as the launcher, all apps installed come here. So you need to create app folders so that your list remains small, and this is the way to do that. Now coming back, you cannot change the colors for the widgets, which is available right here, the background color, or for the folders. So all you need to do is tap on a widget and it would be placed on your home screen. So let's tap on Boost RAM. And here you see it has been placed. You can't change the background color as I said earlier, but you can rearrange it. But the size of these tiles cannot be changed at present as well. Toast notifications on the Nokia X are shown at the top instead of at the bottom part of the screen, which is usual on Android. So if you miss them, that's where they will be. We've already made a video on the UI walkthrough. You should watch that as well, where we also show how to sideload apps on the Nokia X. While we are on the subject of software, apps are movable to the SD card. However, app data needs to remain in the internal storage, except for Asphalt 8, which has been customized by Gameloft. In terms of tethering and hotspot, you have USB tethering, Bluetooth tethering, as well as Wi-Fi hotspot. You also have VPN for enterprise users. You have dual SIM settings, your sound settings. Getting into display, you can see that you have glance screen option there. You can enable or disable this. However, it does take up some battery. Now let's get into battery. You can get about 1 to 1.5 days of usage easily, even if you have 2G internet always on, as well as 2 or 3 online accounts synced in. However, if you start playing games on the phone, the battery life decreases very rapidly and the phone does get a little bit of warm while playing games. Now you can see this is the notification, the banners on the lock screen which I showed you, and also the preview which is available. Then coming to FastLane, you can manage notifications, which app will be able to show their notifications on the FastLane. So you can choose the apps right here, and manage history option allows you to say which apps will be shown that you have used them on the Nokia FastLane again. So you can disable that. Music app would not come up in the Nokia FastLane when you use that. So it's total control over the notifications that you see. In terms of security, you just have PIN or password that you can set over the lock screen, and that's pretty limited. You don't have pattern option available here. So these are the different accounts that we have already synced in. Well, that's pretty much a tour of the settings. Let's get into About Phone. From here you can see it's the RM980 or the Nokia X running the new software version 11.1.1, which came through an OTA update. So the Nokia FastLane also has actionable notifications. So let's say you have an option for reply. Let's tap on that and we'll open up the email app directly so that you can reply to that particular message. So just like Android, which has these options in the notification bar, these are available on the Nokia X in the FastLane. So we have configured Gmail to work with the Nokia X. And you see there, it works perfectly fine there too. But this is not push mail like Gmail app on Android. It actually needs to refresh itself every 15 minutes or so. You can choose that duration as well. So you have Twitter, Facebook, and several other apps that come pre-installed. You have app folders as well, as you can add your widgets to the interface too. Change the size as well as colors of the tiles. So it's not that limited as it seems. Now this is a look at the Nokia Mix Radio app, which came with the Nokia X. It's available on Windows Phone as well. We have already created a mix for Imagine Dragons. So you can see from right here, it's playing the music online. And you can even download these songs for free by just tapping on the icon. And you can just go ahead and download all the tracks you want legally. Now this is Here Maps. This is a replacement for Google Maps. Here Maps are quite detailed. You can see the map, satellite or terrain as well. You can add traffic information to the map too. Then you have several other options, including a drive application, which will guide you. It's voice guided navigation. And you can also download maps so that they would work even if you don't have network coverage. So these maps would make use of your GPS to find your current location. Now let's take a look at some of the other default apps. So this is the calculator. You have a scientific calculator within that as well. Now coming to your calendar. So here you can schedule your appointments and these would be synced with the account that you specify on the phone. So you can have your Outlook calendar synced right here by adding that particular account. And then you can set your alarms as well. So you have a default alarm clock that's available. You can add specific alarms. You can delete alarms from the interface. So this is how you access menus on the Nokia X since there is no menu key available. The interface is actually quite fluid, especially if you start using folders. And FastLane, every detail of whatsoever you have done on your phone appears right here. You can also manually clear some information that appears here by long tapping on it and then pressing the cross button right next to the thing you want to delete. And you can clear all by tapping on the trash can icon. So everything gets deleted if you want that. So we have opened up the Nokia browser and phonebunch.com. As you can see that the web browsing is a bit laggy. Now let's see. Pinch to zoom again is not that smooth and the text reflows very slowly on the Nokia X. You can see that web browsing is definitely a bit jerky and it takes a lot of time for the text as well as images to load. Text doesn't reflow that well at all. So web browsing is definitely laggy on the Nokia X. We didn't have any major issues with performance on the phone, but you can see that there is a little bit of lag in the launcher itself and apps do take a little bit of time to open up. So you see it takes a bit of time for the app to actually come forth. The same happens with any app, whether it's a native app that's already come pre-installed or the apps that you might have installed yourself. That's a Nokia browser. It too took a little bit of time to open up, as you saw. So this happens with every app that comes either pre-installed or the APK that you install later on. It does take a little bit of time to open up. A bit more than your average Android device. You can see in the music app as well, the same thing happens. The absence of Google services is definitely noticeable. You don't have the Play Store, YouTube, Gmail, or even Google Maps. The camera here is alright. It's not great. And in terms of performance, it's easily beaten by the likes of the Xperia Even and the Galaxy S2s too. We'll be back with more. Till then, you can watch Asphalt 8 on the Nokia X, Nokia X gaming review, as well as its unboxing from right here. If you have any questions, ask us in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you and have a great day.